welcome to Tea with Treasure. We're here at Rogue Community College in Grants Pass, Oregon, preparing to meet with my guest today, Midge Shaw. Midge is a woman who lives two lives and many roles, and in all of those roles, she really carries her passion and purpose with her. She's the writing coordinator for the Humanities Department at Rogue Community College, co-minister with her husband at the Vineyard Christian Center, and missionary to the most remote villages of the Amazonian jungle. Midge has been ministering for the past 41 years at the Vineyard Christian Fellowship with husband, Pastor Steve Shaw.
We do the best job we can. My wife is valued that so much at the college.
Tell us a little bit about Steve.
He is just a man of God that just is unshakable in his faith, unshakable in his loyalty and his commitment to God.
You know, and she's got power out there. She's got a rather high seat now. But she always said, my job out there is to make my supervisor look great.
I have to say that I'm way more in love with him now than I ever have been.
You have a completely separate life that you live away from Grants Pass. We've been going into the Amazon basin. It's been
24 years. Mm-hmm.
Wow. And annually, a trip annually, and usually with a team, correct? Mm-hmm. From her very first trip to Brazil, Midge felt a call to the people there. She loved the weather and loved the river. Could this be a call to service? Two obstacles to that idea were miraculously resolved. This is the first time you've ever been down this river. They're in hammocks. Just to clarify, you're in the top of the boat in a hammock.
Right.
And there's a miracle in store for you.
Yeah, I've had motion sickness my whole entire life. And so here comes this terrible storm in a hammock, and I'm thinking, oh, here it goes. I'm going to lose everything, you know. And I didn't. It was just absolutely hilarious that after all these years, now in my 40s, that I'm healed of motion sickness. I've been highly, highly allergic to anything citrus. The next day, pineapple was presented to us, and it smelled so good I could hardly stand it. And I ate it and then waited and never got sick, never broke out. From that point on, I've never had motion sickness, and I've never experienced that allergy. Completely gone. I just figured if God was going to heal me, because I was bringing his kingdom to another country, if he was going to do something that radical, one word after the other, this is where I should be. So when I go down, it feels like a second home.
So just for perspective, can you show us a little bit about the Amazon basin on this map up here?
This is northern Brazil called the Amazon basin, and it's as big as the United States. So this just superimposed the United States, and that's the breadth and width of this basin. And you can see the river.
There's so much water.
When you get into these great big parts, you can't see the other side at all. From there, I've traveled all through all these rivers, Santarém and down into Altamira. This is the Xingu River. I've traveled down all the way down the Xingu River to where it's non-navigable. So I don't know if you can see all these tiny, tiny, tiny little villages. Yeah. But I love the jungle. I love the smells and the sounds. I love the lapping of the water on the boat, day and night. The moon is so big, it looks like you could actually just grab a hold of it. I felt like I was on another planet. Okay. It was so different.
You live on the boat
right.
while you're traveling, is that correct?
Yeah.
The river is the highway for the northern Brazil jungle. Getting around by boat can be dangerous and terribly slow. Old and often in need of repair, the boats could move only about 5 miles per hour down the river, and long days of waiting in 95 degrees and jungle humidity. There are many dangers in the Amazon.
Alligators, caiman, anaconda. The worst are the stingray. So when we go into the water, we have to shuffle our feet so the stingray will scatter. We can't forget to shuffle because we can't step.
Right.
You step on a stingray and you're kind of, that's not a good picture. So
And piranhas, right? Piranhas.
Yep, piranhas are there. Yep, too. But there's dolphins, and there's manatees. There's some really sweet things there too. The river people are just people, honestly, for generations that have lived in little houses, little huts. They have squatting rights on these properties, and then they create these little villages. So many times we get to a village, and we become a real curiosity.
Yeah, I bet. I was going to say rock star, but that might not be accurate.
They honestly look at us that way.
Right.
Yeah. They always welcome us in and tell us their stories. We share his word and we share his life, and then we invite them for prayer, for any healing or anything that they'd want. After that, we play the fishing game.
Tell me about the fishing game.
So the fishing game, we have put things in plastic bags so they all line up, and we put a blindfold on them, and if it's a little boy, they get a little car, and the little girls get Beanie Babies, and the moms get jewelry or bags, and the men get a hat. So those are all given to us. We bring them down by the hundreds.
And you show up and you've got presents, and you sing, and you bring friends, and you bring a message of love and healing. I think that's beautiful. So I remember one of the cool projects that you pulled together, you and Steve, for the people in Brazil, and they like to play soccer, but the balls kept popping. So tell us a little bit about that.
So we would bring balls down, and they'd last, maybe a couple weeks, and then they were flat with no way to pump them up again. So this man who had traveled the world and saw soccer everywhere, he created this ball that literally does not pop. And so my husband found those online, and he said, look at this would be perfect. If a family wanted to sponsor getting a ball, they were $40 a piece. We've just taken scores of these down.
So how is it that you are Midge here and Luciani there?
There was this teenager, and we were introducing each other, and I said, my name is Midge, and he says, oh, no, not that. That is not going to work, he said. And so I asked why, and he said, well, I'm going to give it to you in the infinitive form. It means to piss. Oh. I said, you're right. That's not going to work very well. So he asked me what my middle name was, which is Lucille. I was named after my grandma. And so he said, great, you're Luciani. And so ever since I've been Luciani.
And they recognize you as a pastor.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Pastora Luciani. That's how I'm introduced all the time. Yeah.
Nice.
There's no medical facilities available for these people at all. They have to come into town. So they can wait for months to get a consult. People just die while they're in line because there's no one to help them. And they're last on the rung to get treated because they're so poor.
The poverty,
yeah.
Sure. Nilton Cordero was an early boat captain and missionary that Luciani supported in many ways. The Cordero's son, Marcus, wanted to be in the medical field and had a dream of bringing medicine to the people on the river. He spent 8 years living with the Shaws, and while he was here, finished his education and actually earned the bachelor's degree.
Right.
So what is he doing with that now?
He has ended up marrying a nurse, and they are out on the rivers every week, bringing the kingdom and bringing medicine at the same time.
The congregation at the Vineyard Christian Fellowship continued to support the Corderos, helping them with several large purchases, including a new boat that moves much faster and breaks down less. Tell me about the women in the Amazon basin.
So the women in the villages work super, super hard with making something called farinha, and then having babies. So you'll see a little mom with 12 little ones, And yeah, that's not uncommon. So that's why a village grows.
Don't speak big
Freedom, absolute freedom, liberdade, completamente. Yes. No, you don't have any right here.
Daughter of God, daughter of God.
This is Lord.
So 24 years taking trips, teams of people down into this place where there's plenty of opportunity for danger to show up. Have you ever had anything really scary or frightening or even tragic happen?
Trying to get on the boat, and I stepped with my bare feet into a live motor, and I pulled it out, and it was so quiet. I mean, they're just waiting for this mangled foot. Absolutely not even a scratch.
Wow.
I know it. Just God's
Miracles.
intervention.
Just miracles.
Yeah, just miracles, just keeping us in His hands. I am really waiting on the Lord to show me what is next. I love the Amazon. I adore those people. And so if that's what I'm supposed to do for the rest of my life until I can't travel anymore, I'm fine with it. He knows that. God is big enough. If I step out of the way and give Him my heart and my life, He makes an incredible, beautiful thing out of it.
I know, when I sat in your church, how much I appreciated hearing you teach, and that you embody being an empowered woman. And so I hope that this is an opportunity for people to look in from any direction and see something really beautiful. And I appreciate you being a part of that. Midge and Steve are retiring from the church and college within the year to live closer to children and grandchildren.
I love being Nana. I love being Nana. It's like my favorite thing in the whole world.